this is pretty cool, but if we get this, we are going to need general construction because we need inventory systems as well. The containers and so on. The adapters are nice, but not that needed. Advanced rocketry. Now this would be very useful to get for going to the Mun. Actually, pretty much this engine would make that one worth it already. Difficult choices. I'd love landing struts, but I think we can make do with the ones we have right now. Launch escape system would be cool, but not necessary. Command module, pretty useful. Okay, so we're gonna go for, I think, the science bay, because that gets us panels that we need for... It gets us panels and it gets us a relay antenna. We need that for our probe. So that one we need, and we're gonna get this one, I think, the rocketry, because it gets us a liquid fuel engine that we need in space. And that will be good upgrades to get our first probes. We're just not gonna be able to do a manned mission just yet. So we're gonna buy this one. Oh god, what does that open? Space exploration. Wanna play doctor? Well, you do know I have a bow tie. You love having a washable keyboard? Oh god. What's happening to this channel? It used to be such a safe space. Okay, these are pretty nice, but electrics. Excellent. More panels for the probes. Better communication, that's excellent. Fuel cell array, I believe. What's that do? That... Yeah, that generates power from... Oh, hydrogen and oxygen. Makes water? How does that... Oh, of course, it's reverse electrolysis. Okay, that's interesting. More communitrons and relay antennas, excellent. More some of these science experiments. Well, this seems like a deal. Pay 90 for nothing. Bunch of service bays, container tanks. Ready pack? I guess that's all colonizer stuff. Okay, that's one. Which one did I say I wanted to open? That one, right? Let's open this one up, and that gets us first heavy rockets. Great. Bow ties are cool. Need to head back to work. Love me too, baby. Every 7 years, you take this thing apart and wash it. It is pretty needed. You know what? I'm gonna post this on Twitter for you later, Joe. I took this. I have a mechanical keyboard because I love those. I took it apart a while back. Oh my god, the cat hair. This is a sky crane. Yes. I want a sky crane. This is pretty good for probes and small things. Oh, the jumbo fuel tank this early on in the technology system. I love it. No, we're gonna design communication devices. Because we have the photovoltaic panels that we need, and we have a relay antenna. We're gonna need to make a network. Let's see, what is the help button again? There we go, the Kerbopedia. Oh wow, they introduced D-Magic Orbital Science things in here. This is some of the stuff that I have. They even have ScanSat stuff in here. This is amazing. Asteroid science, beautiful. Now what I want to know is... what Model definitions. What is geostationary orbit? I think it's somewhere around 2 million. Okay, let's get some behind the scenes stuff going. I'm gonna click away. I'm gonna go to reddit.com. Actually, no, I have a site. You know what? I want to show you this site. You saw that on Facebook? Yeah, it was horrible, wasn't it, Joe? I'm gonna post for you the site that I use, Delta V Calculator. There we go. That's the site I'm using right now. And I'm clicking Kerbin surface, Kerbin orbit. But I think that's low over 3,400. That doesn't get me what I need. How about we go to reddit.com/r Kerbal Academy. 600,000? Oh, no, Jaxus. If you want Kerbostationary, it's actually Kerbin geostationary. It's I'm fairly sure it's about 2.5 million. Let's see. This is super fascinating for you to see me look this up. There we go. Synchronous orbit. 2 million. Let's see. 2,863.33 kilometer. Let me get that info for you. That is just a Kerbal wiki. That was a lot of Virgio. Kerbal wiki. I'm putting that information out there for you. And that shows you that the synchronous orbit is quite high. Now, I wonder if we should be able to make that. So, we're gonna make a new one. And this is going to be our, the start of our communications network. Actually, let me explain my plan to you, and then we start building it. In the meantime, how about you think of a cool name for the satellite? I understand if you need to wait until you see what it looks like. But here's my plan. We have Kerbin here. Now we have the Mun, and we have Minmus. The Mun's going to be our first target for a flyby. Secret, Minmus is actually easier. It takes about the same amount of fuel you need anyway, because you need so little extra delta V to get here as compared to here, that if you can get to the Mun, you can get to Minmus. Minmus has lower gravity, so it's easier to land and it's easier to take off. So you need less delta V getting to Minmus than you need to the Mun. Check it out on the site I sent, the KSP bodies graph. It's actually easier. But you can get some stats here about Kerbin. So you can actually check like the various stats. Like that the atmosphere goes up to 70,000, the pressure is simply 1. Rotation period is about 6 hours. So here's my idea. We need to get geostationary at 2 million? Now this is 11 million, so geostationary is going to be around here. Now, Kerbostationary orbit is... what is this? Oh. Oh, I'm going to respond to that one later. Kerbostationary orbit is around here. I want 3 satellites that are basically cover all of Kerbin. Now we know that the Kerbin rotation period is 6 hours. So if I want 3 satellites to be in geostationary orbit, geostationary, whatever, they will rotate at 6 hours to be on the same spot. So they need to be 2 hours separate. So I'm gonna try and get an orbit which takes me 2 hours, which reaches the geostationary and then takes 2 hours to reach it again. So that I'm gonna blast up, and then when I reach the apoapsis, I'm gonna release one of these satellites, and that's gonna circularize its orbit. I'm gonna go down again, and then 2 hours later I release the next one, 2 hours later I release the next one. That's how you get them in perfect orbit. So what we need is a satellite that has Kerbal Engineer on it, because I need to see whether it's perfectly circularized. It's gonna be able to, it's gonna need to equalize its orbit. It will have to have a relay satellite, and probably some antenna on it as well. The value I had in mind had to do with some satellite stuff you're messing around with. Ah, name it Baba Booey. Takes you 2 seconds, you'll forget about it. Fair enough, Jexus. I will forget about it. You have a point there. Look, there we go. This is so fascinating for you to see me respond to a WhatsApp message. Boom. There we go. Just take up all 3 at once. Exactly, Total G. That was the plan. We'll stack them up and do the orbits. That's why I have the 2-hour orbit planned, because then with the same ship I can release them all. Let's see how much fuel I will probably need. If I use this, that gets me 2,600. We probably don't need as much. We're gonna need to adjust this once we are done. Oh yeah, here's the thing. That one doesn't actually have a hole around it. If you look at that, it doesn't clip correctly. It considers the interior there to be full. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna place this here, place that there. We're gonna use the move offset to make it go where it belongs. Is that inside? There we go. Now this gets us 3,000. Holy crap. Ah, that does have way more fuel than the other one. Well, that's all the stuff we need then. Now, as I said, I want this to be a relay antenna. That makes it a little bit difficult for us to carry 3 at once, because I don't think this has a node on top. No, it doesn't. Probably going to have to attach these to the side of something somehow. Let's figure out a way. Oh, you mean we're gonna launch the ship every 2 hours? Oh god, no. Yeah, that would have been way too much work. You're absolutely right there. No, I figure doing it all at once is a lot safer, because then you're guaranteed the same release schedule. Let's see how this looks. That looks just fine. This generates power. Is there a way to see how long I would be in the dark? Of course there's no way to see that, because it doesn't know where I am. Because I'm thinking I will need probably a battery. But not that much, because if you think about it, it's in geostationary orbit. Actually, it's in geostationary orbit, so it'll move. Let's see. How long will it be occluded by Kerbin is basically my question. Now, it'll take 12 hours to do half of Kerbin, but Kerbin's going to be fairly small, so of those 12 hours, it's only going to be in shadow of it a little bit. We might be able to make do with a small one. You can use interstage nodes on the fairing. Might not be able to get 3 in those with those relays, but maybe. Interstage nodes on the fairings? Wait, I did not know. I mean, I know that you have these. I did not know that that was a possible thing. Can you... Hold on. Yeah. Can you attach something above that? I have never... I did not know that was a thing. Total G, that is the tip of the day. That is the tip of the week. I did not know that was possible. That is amazing. That's gonna be so useful. Yeah, mind blown. Absolutely. That is gonna make so much more possible. I love this. Okay, let's get a Kerbal Engineer up. Mind blown. Hey, that is one more Kerbal Engineer than I need. Okay, it's a little bit lame to be clipping in that, but I just wanted to look compact. 005. You know what? 005. Fine, let's just give it a basic package. They're very useful. They won't decouple on their own, though. Just a heads up. So still need to put stack decouplers and whatnot on them. Oh, that is good to know. Thank you. Let's see. What else do I need for my communications satellite? We have power. That's going to be perpetual. We have some charge. We have fuel. Not as much, of course, since we put those heavy things on there, but this should be enough fuel to get a geosynchronous orbit. How many... Environment radiation, there we go, reliability. We can expect about 1 malfunction a year, and that's because the quality is standard. If we set this to high, we can get 1 every 2 years. And if we set the engine to high, we can also get about 1 every 2 years. We're going to be replacing these long before then. So I'm going to make them standard quality. I do want to boost the signal range. We don't really need this, but you know what? I like the idea of it. Let's add another one. And let's rotate these babies. Yeah, that looks cool. These will boost the signal strength. I don't think it's even actually needed, but whatever. And we will call this the Flexible Universal Broadcast System. Or FUB. FUB 1. Okay. This is all they need to do. So I think we're done with these. Now let's see if we can get 3 of them in here at once. Get that payload, put that on there. Can I just copy this like... Oh. Oh, wait, I will probably need to make this into a sub-assembly, right? Where do you have those? Sub-assemblies... Oh, right. If I recall correctly, this doesn't... Oh! Are you shitting me? I thought that was how you used it. Do I have an autosave? That is the basically... Damn it! Fine, I remember the design. How foolish of me. We can easily and quickly get this back, though. equals 1. Location, well, and that. Electricity. We swapped you around. We had a basic battery pack over here. We had Kerbal Engineer sunk in like that. We took our communication here, and we rotated you downwards. This enough? I think that looks good. Fob 1, save it. Sub-assemblies. Satellite. Oh! That's the drop zone. Selected part is not attachable. Yeah, that I remember. So, if I recall correctly, the solution to that is to add a decoupler like that, and then make this the root. How do you do that again? Alt click, alt click. How do you make this the root again? There was a way. Reroute. There we go. New part is new root. Oh, right. Hold on. What you did was this part now has that as a root. And then you can sub-assembly in the satellites, pick it up like this, drop it in there, and then name it the Fub1. Baba Booey? Okay, Baba Booey. Flexible universal broadcasting system. Save it. Okay. Get rid of this and add another probe. We don't need a Kerbal on this. How should we organize this? Okay, I want this to have a payload on top. Let's see if we can get 3 Baba Buoys. I'd have to stack it like this, I think, for it to be able to triple stack. So that one goes first, followed by that one. And of course this whole thing, actually you could just drag this, needs to open before this. This is amazing. I did not know that you could double stack like this. I love it. Let's adjust this. I wanted to, rather than have 2 sides, I wanted to burst off in 6 and gently float away, just because it looks cool. Build that fairing. Amazing, I love it. Let's see, structural. Let's adapt upwards like that. Excellent. Now, how do I want to go about this? I'm thinking of what stages I want and how I want to do this. Now, for one, I want to make sure that this stays controllable. How far out does this work? I think that should work. That should get us farther to the Mun. Far enough to the Mun. Still though, for safety's sake, let's take this baby. Gonna use this, you know what, let's use both here. Let's use that one during ascent, and the other one is for in space, just as, oh, just as a backup. Okay, we have this running. Now I want to make sure we have power. Those are literally the same? Hold on, let me check. You're totally right. They are wait, this one is not combinable. Ah. So how far out does this go? Around from 6 mm? I think it should get me to geostationary orbit though, doesn't it? I think that is enough. Okay. Let's see how far this gets us in space. In a vacuum that, oh wow. That gets us more delta V than wait, where are you? That's why it gets you a bunch. There we go. This didn't seem realistic. 900. Okay, if we can get the lot in space fairly well, I think we should be okay if this is purely used in space. Now, considering this is going to be there for minutes, hours, I mean, literal full-on hours, I am gonna want a little bit of certainty. Actually, you know what? Rather than do this one, we could probably make do with 2 of these. That should keep us going, I think, for electric charge in space. Okay, we have that. All we need to do is get this thing into space, into the geostationary orbit. So let's see how far we can get. Let's make this into an upper stage. Again, I'm trying to keep these light. Wow, the staging to this thing is insane. Why is it so thoroughly messing up all the staging? When this gets staged, we want... What engine is it? Okay, these belong together. This one belongs down here. There we go. Okay, these fire when in space, so they should open after. Yep, that works. And then we go top to bottom. Okay. It's the same, just different mounting. What's the level of the tracking station? I believe it's still 1 right now. Yeah, I don't think we've upgraded it. I think it's the weird order in which I stack these that are causing these weird issues. We're at 1700. We're gonna need a serious kick. Oh, not a swivel. Aligned. Again, it's being weird. Needs to be down here. That needs to be there. This needs to be in its own thing with... Actually, that needs to be over there. That needs to be over there. God, the stage